to be able to continue our planet in a viable way, we're going to have to come up with some new MacGyvers. For the lack of a better word, right? Some new ways that we can suddenly reach across to different silos to wind up pooling our knowledge and our resources to create these unique combinations that are going to pull us out of the downward spiral we're in.
Yes.
You have this great way of talking about the value chain from the movie, what was it, Apollo 13?
Yes.
There was this, okay, because this is how, when you were talking to me about the value chain in the pre-call, I didn't really get it until you told this story. And what I want people to think about while you tell this story is how many times in our lives it went just this way and we came out better than we might have ever. So talk to us about that great example.
Absolutely. As we were talking in our pre-call, so many ideas were sparked based on this idea of spaceship. And one of those things was the movie Apollo 13. And my favorite scene in that movie is when the astronauts on board the ship are in trouble. I believe the ship is depressurizing, they're losing oxygen. There's all kinds of really awful things that are happening. And that's where the famous line, Houston, we have a problem, comes from. Yes. And so the astronauts call back down to Houston at the command center, and scientists, engineers, mechanics, everybody gets in a room and they grab all of the stuff that they know to be aboard that ship. And it could be parts of the septic system, parts of the food system, parts of the pressurization and oxygen system. And they get all those parts together and they start to solve the problem in real time. And to me, this is a beautiful example of the vision I have for the packaging value chain and what it can be. So if we imagine, in the analogy here, the value chain being each of those systems on board that spaceship that make up the whole. So each individual system, the oxygen system, the waste system, all of those things being separate steps in that value chain. Imagine if those things weren't working together in something as close quarters as the Apollo 13 spaceship. It wouldn't work, right? All of those things have to be talking to each other. And in this amazing problem-solving scene where they're connecting pipes to new things and taking things apart to try to fix all of the issues, it required a multidisciplinary approach. It required the scientists to talk to the engineers, to talk to the mechanics, to talk to everyone that was involved in building this thing, to have all of these points of view, to really create these innovative solutions that they were able to achieve in less than a day. It was so fast, and they saved these astronauts' lives and got them home safely because of this approach. And in essence, that analogy of Spaceship Earth, that analogy of all of the independent systems making up the value chain, becoming interconnected, having this meeting of the minds at the table from different disciplines, different skill sets, not being siloed in their approach is what made the difference. And so, yeah, I love that we arrived at that together. And it really is one of my favorite scenes in a movie of all time because it excites me, and it is, I don't know, a vision that I've had for problem solving my whole life. Getting people from diverse viewpoints and skill sets together, that's the way you do it.
When you look at this example of the Apollo 13, there was a level of inventiveness and collaboration and these things that we really wish we were teaching children these days in education.
Yes.
There's another whole world of where we start this idea of collaboration, inventiveness, meeting the basic requirements in fresh new ways that we're going to get to as long as we have people like you pointing to what's possible.